Well, do you think that the Capitol Police Force, when you think about January 6th, were there any failures that you believe, planning failures, intel failures by authorities leading up to January 6th? And do you think that they actually would be able to prevent another attack from happening if it were to happen in the next year?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. I learned so much at the January 6th hearings and the investigations. Well, while we were going through January 6th, I wasn't necessarily thinking about, intelligence failures or anything like that. I was trying to, make it home at the end of the night. I was trying to make sure my coworkers were okay. I was trying to make sure the members of Congress, who notably said that nothing bad happened, trying to make sure that nothing bad happened to them. So maybe that's why they say nothing bad happened. Maybe we were good at our jobs or whatever. But with the failures, sure, it was clear somebody dropped the ball. And we need obviously with at the end of the day, you have to hold people accountable for their actions. That's kind of like whether somebody forgot to lock their door and a burglar comes in and just steals something. Just because I blocked, it's victim blaming. Blaming the police who were attacked. Sure, we need to do something to make sure that we're not in a position where they're caught off guard again, and those issues need to be addressed. And the people responsible for them, we need to look at, are they the right people to be doing those jobs? But yeah, the failures of that day and everything, but ultimately the responsibility falls on the people who committed the crimes. And there's no deterrence. Obviously, yes, there's been people that have been sentenced to jail, obviously the foot soldiers, but at the very top, there hasn't been accountability yet. And I think that's what we're continuing to push and fight for.
So, how concerned are you that maybe January 6th, 2025 could look like January 6th, 2021 if Biden were to be reelected?
Very, very, very concerned. I mean, what has changed? In fact, it hasn't just not changed. It's the rhetoric, the out loud. It's gotten even worse. The people have gone. What's the common phrase they say? They're saying the quiet part out loud, and they're doing that on the other side. And they're already setting the stage for, well, what if Donald Trump loses? So I'm very concerned about that.
So I do want to talk just beyond election integrity. What other legislative issues would be important to you as a member of
That's,
Congress?
that, that's great. So I'll name a few things, but you got to understand that all of these issues fall under the umbrella of democracy. Because, if democracy fails or, we have a dictator, which Trump has said that he would be if elected. Now, he said only for a day, and then he went back and said he was joking, but I don't think we cannot take this individual serious. You have to take what he says seriously. And if we don't, it'll be our own fault. But, I align with democratic principles, generally speaking. I do think the woman's right, reproductive health, that needs to be between the doctor and the patient. Period. Like we have no legislators have no business in the doctor's office. Um, Obviously, common sense gun reform, securing voting rights, lowering healthcare costs. People talk about inflation. It's coming down, on the scales and by all metrics, but people are still feeling the hurt in their wallets, and we need to find a way to get more money in their pockets. So those are some of the issues that I definitely agree with. Voting rights, expanding and securing those. It shouldn't be as difficult it is. It's easier to buy a gun than for somebody to just go out and vote. And that doesn't make any sense. So I just want to bring a common sense approach to Congress, which it seems, as crazy as it seems like it's non-existent there.